I was thinking about the movie The Guilty, which I thoroughly enjoyed. This movie, when you see it, it's all Jake.
Sorry about that, by the way.
No, I'm saying it's like you're talking on the phone to people and stuff, and you're a 911 operator. You really get to shine in this film.
Well, I mean, just like shouting out to like the 911 dispatchers across the country and the world. I mean, that job is just incredible.
It's insane.
I mean, to think that like very often they don't get to hear the end of the call. They're helping someone through some of the hardest times in their life, and then they don't even know what happens. They'll spend an hour, a minute, a couple seconds in someone in dire need. You're dealing with people on the worst day of their lives, and then you don't get to know what happens. And oftentimes they're the unsung heroes in that space. But I think also the movie's about mental health, you know, like, I mean, yes, you're dealing with mental health, the other people on the line, and our assumptions of what people look like when we could just hear their voice, what our prejudices are, what our projections are, all that stuff.
Right.
But also the mental health of the person who's answering that call.
That's right.
I mean, the person who has to get there and do that. I mean, so many of our systems are so broken in dealing with not just the people who need help, but not looking at the people who are helping who also need help. And all these stigmas around that space. And so I think like that's why Antoine and I wanted to make the movie on another level, outside of just being a thriller and there being twists and turns and stuff we knew would be entertaining. It was always the discussion from the beginning, which is that this is a movie about all of us and how broken our systems are and how much we project on other people and the mistakes we make as a result of that.
Like, who the hell is answering the 911 call and what's their psychological situation? And
I mean, there's a first line in it where he's like, there's a kid who calls and he says, you know, he's like, did you do drugs? He's like, yes. He's like, you shouldn't do that. You know, clearly he's not a guy.
Very helpful, right?
Yeah, very, very healthy. Yeah, no toxicity at all in that comment. But like, that's at the heart of it. You see a man dealing with the idea, I think, of also like masculinity and how do you help, right? How do you help when you need help and don't know you need help? And want to help. That's the other thing. Want to help, but don't know probably that you're not fully capable of being there for someone else because you haven't faced your own shit.